Why should we use connection over coercion with our kids when we're trying to get them to cooperate or do things around the home that we know need to be done? Like getting in the shower or starting their homework or helping clear the table, stuff like that. I want to talk about why it is so powerful to use connection rather than those other old style, kind of outdated methods that really are unhelpful. Maybe we experienced growing up, but they're things like threats or consequences, maybe even bribes or punishment. And so all of those are those coercive methods that don't actually feel very nice when we're using them. We kind of wish we didn't have to go to those lengths to get our kids to cooperate. And so this is what I want to talk about and give you guys a little bit of just understanding about the difference and why it is so powerful, like I say, to use connection and have that as your like underlying approach for when you're connecting with your kids, right? When you're asking them to do something. So if we think about even us as adults, like, do we enjoy being coerced or kind of forced and controlled or even manipulated? If you do this, then you can get that. If you have your shower, then you can watch your show on Netflix. Like even punishments or threats, like if you don't cook all of us dinner, then you won't have your phone tomorrow. I'm going to take it off you. Like, no one would say that to us because we're adults, but because we know that being like using controlling coercive methods don't work. Like that pushes people away from each other. If that happens in a relationship between partners or spouses, if it happens in the workplace, like, people don't put up with that. We don't want to hang around. We don't like we think that person is an a-hole and we don't want to be treated that way. That's coercion and coercive methods. So like I said before, bribes, if you do this, then you get that. Threats of, if you don't do this now, then guess what's going to happen? Or I'm going to take that off you, or you're not going to be able to go there. Consequences and punishments. Punishments is simply, you're not doing what I want you to do, so I'm going to make you suffer. That's a very old style, outdated, traditional behaviourist approach to getting people to do what you want. That also doesn't really work. Unfortunately, let me put a disclaimer there. Unfortunately, for some kids, particularly young kids and early on, if you make a threat or a punishment that's big enough, yeah, you can parent by fear and by force, and that may work for some period of time. But at what cost? What cost to your relationship with your child? And they're going to learn that when I want someone to do something, like my brother or sister, I'm going to force them, or I'm going to punish them, and I'm going to make them suffer and hurt them. Like, it's such a flawed logic if we think that we can do that to a certain point until our kids obey and they're compliant, and then they'll know how to treat people nicely. No. So getting rid of all those coercive methods and the stuff that, like I said, just doesn't really feel very nice. We know that there are actually other ways in which we can gain our child's cooperation and still have that influence over them that we do need to have. We need to be able to influence our kids and tell them and impart to them the wisdom of why it's important to brush our teeth. Because if we don't, we get cavities and we have to go to the dentist and spend money and have painful procedures. Why we need to do homework, if you believe in that, which that's another story, that's another video. Why we need to eat vegetables or, get to school on time, stuff like that. So what I want to kind of get across is that when we are connected to our kids, meaning they love and respect us, and we have a good bond with them, we take time to get into their world and see what's interesting them and what they're glued to. We have that good, respectful, loving, empathetic back and forth kind of relationship. When we have that connection, our kids are more likely to want to cooperate and to do things that we ask and to be flexible and to help out where we need them to. Okay? if our kids are not connected to us and we're constantly using threats and punishment, they don't want a bar of it. Like sooner or later, after punishments have to increase and get bigger. Like I've heard so many stories of parents saying we have to keep upping the ante, and I'm like, where is that going to stop? Like getting rid of those methods and replacing it with that, foundation level. We're here together as part of a family. I love you, and I want to do things for you and help you out, and we do that in a reciprocal way, so it makes our life easier, and we all get what we need and want. That stuff, it sounds very basic, but it's very important. And the problem is, I think that often we don't have time to do that stuff for our kids. We have all these busy deadlines and projects, and we have work, or we have the house, or we have errands to run and stuff like that. Sometimes we just need to actually come back to the foundation of, am I connected with my kids? Do I ask them in a respectful, polite way when it's time to jump in the shower? Or if we are running late to school, how do I connect with them and tell them that and encourage them and help them out to hurry up rather than just barking at them? All those things, like there are different methods that we can do, that we can use to get our child's attention if we feel like they're not listening, or that we are running late, or they're not doing what we ask. Instead of just saying things again and again, louder and louder, we can use other methods or approaches, like using a visual cue of, if it's time to pack their bag, saying, hey buddy, all right, what do you need in your bag? Let me get this, lunchbox, so showing them, putting the towel in their lap if it's time for a shower. Come on, here's your towel, I got it ready, let's go. So there are things we can do, even touch or tactile cues, giving your child a little shoulder squeeze or a patting them on the arm or a head scratch, playful, loving, connected ways to get their attention and to say, I know you're in the middle of watching your show. We really need to go have a shower. If you've got a few minutes left, watch to the end and then let's go. But if you've just started one, we're going to have to pause it because it's getting close to bedtime. You can watch the rest tomorrow. Like just being respectful and understanding and compassionate and having that empathy that often our child is doing something that they love or is important to them. And it's no big, I want to say it's no big deal, but it's no big feat for us to just go, all right, I'm going to just slow down and pause. And not that you do everything in your own time, but not everything doesn't have to be done in my time either. We all have priorities and things that are important to us and our kids. And so meeting our child with connection and love and empathy and understanding, solving some of those challenges or problems collaboratively with our child is so much more beneficial in the long term than just using those, old style coercive methods, threats, punishments, and timeouts or grounding, all that stuff. Get rid of that stuff bit by bit. Like if you notice you're about to raise your voice or you're bubbling up or you're going to throw out a consequence, like pause, have that presence of mind to go, this is where I would say this or do that. My volcano is building. Let me take a second. I don't want to do it this way. I'm going to connect. How can I connect? So very big difference. And I think it's really important to have that difference between connection and using connection in a positive way, not a manipulative way, and getting rid of those old coercive, manipulative, yucky methods. I would love to know what you guys think. Please put your comments down below. And if you are not already over in the Facebook community, please join Let's Raise Emotionally Intelligent Kids. There's so much good stuff there. That amazing community is growing. And you will also see, if you want to dip your toe into how to do this stuff, how to raise emotionally intelligent kids, how to become an emotionally intelligent parent and get rid of all that old style crap, then please jump onto stephaniepinto.com. My website has some free courses and some really, really low cost, like on sale, short courses that you can do from your own lounge room, wherever you are. And that stuff's going to be a huge help into starting your journey with this. So let me know how you go, and I will see you guys next time for another video. All right, see you later.